Good day, class. Welcome to our new method of teaching. Because of the distance and other factors, we resorted to this type of teaching. It is very effective and I hope you will enjoy it. If you pay attention and follow our courses as we design them, I believe you're going to benefit very much. Your benefit is not only limited to having materials to read, you can also have access to certain pictures, PDF files, to also other materials that may be made available during the course of our presentation. I believe with much effort from you and from me, we're going to succeed in this semester. So, without much ado, I will render you to our board, to our class board. We are going to use the screen of computer to be our board. We can write there, we can do whatever we want from there, and if you pay attention, you will see everything. Always you can see me talking at the extreme left corner, where I know some students will say we prefer to see lecturer talking, even though it doesn't add anything. When you follow the materials and listen to the audios or watch videos, you'll be able to comprehend everything. And if you don't understand anything, you are free to text me or to email. Okay, thank you. We start by welcoming everybody to this semester. This is the second semester of your Load 2, and God's grace will be your final semester. We are hoping that you will enjoy the semester and the course as well. Without much ado, this is Law of Evidence 2, a course for your second semester. We have already done with the first part of it during our first semester, and this semester we are going to deal with the rest of the topics. As you know, law of evidence is all about proving facts, adducing evidence, and making court of law to believe in your cause. If you are telling the court something and you want the court to believe what you're saying, you need to produce evidence. You need to adduce evidence in order to prove that what you are saying is right and is correct, so that the court will be giving judgment in your favor. So, this semester we are going to look into documentary evidence as part of our topics, or as part of our subtopics we are going to look into this semester. Documentary evidence is another method of proving facts before the court. You can prove facts by way of oral testimony, as we have seen in our first semester. You call somebody to come before the court and tell the court that I witnessed this, or this happened before me, or I was involved in this. So this is an oral evidence. But when we are talking about documentary evidence, we are talking about producing documents of kinds to prove what you are asserting, to prove what you are saying. So, under this topic, we are going to look at various things. Our first thing we are going to look under in this course is introduction. We will introduce the topic. We'll introduce what is documentary evidence. Then we will say what is, and we are going to say what is document, because document is one method. Document is the actual things that is involved in documentary evidence. It is adducing or proving facts by means of document. So we are going to introduce what is document and what is documentary evidence, because document may not look as the document you know. It may, yeah, when you are talking of document, you may be thinking of books, papers, and what have you. But under this topic, you are going to see that document is a very, very wide, and it has to be, you have to be made to understand what is the document in traditional way and what is document under this documentary evidence. Then we are going to look at the types of documents or documentary evidence. There are so many, there are types of documentary evidence. One of it is the primary document. We can prove any, we can prove facts by way of primary documents. We are going to see what are the primary documents, what make a document to be a primary document. And in the event of absence of documentary evidence, what will you do to prove your case? That will bring us to the secondary documents, because we prove facts in the absence of primary documents by way of secondary documents. Secondary document may be acceptable if it fulfill certain conditions. So in this course, we are going to look at the secondary document and how does document become a secondary document. Then, after that, we are going to look into computer generated evidence. There are evidence that are now being generated from the use of computer, mobile gadgets, and the other electronic gadgets. So many evidence can be now produced from your computer, either through internet, email, recording, um, DVD player, and whatever you may think of as a piece of electronic gadget. You can use your phone, you can use your iPad, you can use your Galaxy tablet, and so on and so forth. So because of that, there are laid down rules and regulation by our laws which must be fulfilled before there is acceptance of computer generated evidence. So we are going to look all the conditions, and we are going to look what qualifies as computer generated document or evidence. Then we're going to look at the classes of evidence. Classes of evidence, classes of documentary evidence is a way of categorizing documents or the source of document, whether they are from an individual or they are from public officials. Because documents that are originated from me and you, whether we execute a document, whether we execute a contract, whether we sign an agreement, whether I wrote you a check, whether I wrote you an invoice, all these are primary, all these are private documents because their source, their initial is from a private individual. So under these classes, there is private documents, as I explained, which come from our individuals, from our individual efforts. Then there are documents which are public. They are in custody of public officials. These documents can be accepted by the court if they fulfill certain conditions. We are going to see what are these conditions and how can you tender a document that originates or comes from somebody in official or public officer or act in his official capacity. And after that, we are going to look at the admissibility generally. We talk of primary document, we talk of secondary document, we talk of private document, we talk of public document, we talk of computer generated evidence. Because before a document can be relied on by a court, it has to be admissible. How can you make court admit this document? When you generate a document from computer, how will you make court to accept it and admit it as evidence? So also primary document, so also secondary document, so also private document, so also public document. There are means and ways by which um, you can go about it and prove their existence, and the court accept them as documentary evidence. Then lastly, we are going to look at the exclusion of oral evidence, because once there is a document to prove a fact, no oral evidence will be permissible. So we are going to look extensively how you exclude oral evidence in the presence of documents. These are the topics that we are going to discuss under documentary evidence, and I hope you will follow us. You will follow us uh, bit by bit as we take this course. We start with introduction, and we meet in our next video. Thank you very much.